PrizePicks.
Hello everyone, this is Mike with BetBlitz. Welcome back to your source for daily sports picks. Today is a new day and we're looking to set you up with a few of some of the best picks on both PrizePicks as well as Underdog. Please take a moment to hit the like button. We do have a like goal for this video, and if this video gets above 250 likes, we will be dropping a bonus pick in our next video. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. Also, at the end of this video, let us know which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. Alright, let's get right into some of the best picks for today. So for our first pick, we'll be headed over to the Points Plus Assist tab, and we'll be selecting Daniel Gafford for more than 6.5 points plus assists. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, and by the way, if you'd like to try Outlier yourself, use our link in the description below for a free 7-day trial. You see that Daniel Gafford has actually exceeded this line in 9 of his last 10 games. Daniel Gafford has also exceeded this line in 90% of his last 20 games. And we also want to point out that Gafford has exceeded this line in the last 4 games of this series. Now, we aren't relying too much on regular season data pretty much at all there in this stage of the season, but for those of you who want to see it, here's Boston's defensive numbers during the regular season. They were a very good defensive team, as they are still in the playoffs now. Here's Boston's regular season defensive numbers against the center position for those of you who want to see that as well. However, despite Boston's good defensive numbers during the regular season and these playoffs, this line is still more than attainable for Daniel Gafford. Again, he has reached it in each of the 4 games versus Boston in this series, as well as in 9 straight games on the road. Now, taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Daniel Gafford is getting a solid dose of minutes over his last 10 games, averaging just above 20 minutes per game. His average minutes have taken a bit of a hit with this game that he played in the last game, under 10 minutes. It was a big blowout game, so he did not get plenty of playing time. But overall, Daniel Gafford should also have plenty of time to reach this line. On the regular season, Daniel Gafford was a solid scorer for the Dallas Mavericks, averaging a solid 11 points per game. He wasn't much of a playmaker, averaging just above 1.5 assists. And during these playoffs, with a reduced role in minutes, Gafford has seen a slight decline in both his points as well as assists. However, they still are well over his current line today. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Daniel Gafford for more than 6.5 points plus assists. For our next pick, we'll actually be staying in the Points Plus Assist tab, but this time we'll be taking Luka Doncic for less than 41.5 points plus assists. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, we see that Luka Doncic has actually failed to exceed this line in 8 of his last 10 games. Additionally, Luka Doncic has actually failed to exceed this line in 80% of his last 20 games. And we also want to point out to you that Luka Doncic has actually only exceeded this line once in this series and failed to exceed it 3 times. Now, again, we aren't relying too much on regular season data, but Boston was a great defensive team and still is. And here are their defensive numbers against point guards during the regular season for those of you who want to see that as well. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Luka Doncic is getting a solid dose over his last 10 games. He is playing an average of near 40 minutes per game. This is a lot higher than we'd like to see it to take his under. However, if you've been watching Doncic during this series and even throughout these playoffs, you see he's been a bit hampered with an injury. And in this series, he has been playing a lot more off ball than he has been in the past. And he's not really running every single possession as he usually does when he's on the court. And this has taken effect in his stat totals. So even with all this time he's playing, we do expect him to still fall under this line. Now, on the regular season, Luka Doncic was a phenomenal scorer as well as playmaker for the Dallas Mavericks, averaging near 34 points per game, as well as just shy of 10 assists per game. During these playoffs, however, as we mentioned, he has been hampered with an injury, so it's no surprise that his stats have taken a significant dip in both scoring as well as playmaking, dropping to a scoring average of just shy of 29 points per game, as well as an around 8 assists per game. Still great stats, but well below his current line today. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Luka Doncic for less than 41.5 points plus assists. Now, for those of you who've been cashing out on our underdog plays, we want to share a couple more plays that we thought had a great chance of hitting, and that's Luka Doncic for higher than 0.5 double-doubles, as well as Jason Tatum for lower than 0.5 double-doubles. And if you like making picks on things like double-doubles, as well as triple-doubles, while still having access to the traditional PRAs, check out Underdog Fantasy because right now, when you use code BETBLITZ, you'll receive a free pick as well as up to $250 in bonus cash. And be on the lookout. Tomorrow, we will be dropping a discounted prop that you can sign up for as well, in addition to the free gift that will be waiting for you in your lobby. For our third pick, we'll actually be in the NBA first half section under the PRA tab, and we'll be selecting Jaylen Brown for less than 17.5 first half PRA. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, we see that Jaylen Brown has actually failed to exceed this line in 8 of his last 10 first halves. Additionally, Brown has failed to exceed this line in 70% of his last 20 first halves. In fact, Brown has failed to exceed this line in 6 of his last 8 matchups versus the Dallas Mavericks, including all 4 games of this current series. Here's Dallas's defensive numbers against the small forward position this regular season for those who want to see that as well. Taking a quick look here at his first half minutes, we see that Jaylen Brown has actually played a solid dose of minutes over his first halves. His last 10 first halves, he's actually had a solid average of 20 minutes per first half. This is slightly higher than we'd like to see it to take us under. However, if you watch Boston, these playoffs, especially in this series, you'll see that they are moving the ball around a lot, getting a lot of players different touches. So the ball moves around a lot of their players, especially their stars, aren't really putting up very dominating stats, especially during the first halves. During the regular season, Jaylen Brown has had solid PRA lines of 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, and just above 3.5 assists. During these playoffs, he has remained pretty constant across the board in his PRA stat. But again, these are totals for the entire game and during the first half. With the ways Boston has been playing, it won't be very likely for him to exceed this line, as he hasn't been able to do so thus far in this series. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Jaylen Brown for less than 17.5 first half PRA. All right, these are our picks for today. And after we finish reviewing, let us know down in the comment section which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. So for our picks, we are taking Daniel Gafford for more than 6.5 points plus assists. We're taking Luka Doncic for less than 41.5 points plus assists. And finally, we're taking Jaylen Brown for less than 17.5 first half PRA. Now, we're not saying to take all these picks and throw them all together into some huge parlay, but overall, these picks could be some useful additions individually to the overall entries that you have in mind. And again, let us know down in the comment section which of these picks you are going to be taking, as well as the ones you won't. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before lines get bumped. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.